All right, hello everybody. Thank you for joining me here at the First Alert Desk for your top stories here at 11 a.m. Wishing you a great Monday. We got a lot to talk about, especially the weather. If you woke up today, you probably felt the chill in the air. There's some changes going around, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, I want to cover some of your top stories, starting with a press conference we took you to not too long ago, talking about the future site of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. So the family of Manuel Turan, if you remember, the environmental protester who was shot and killed by state troopers at the site of the future public training center, they held a news conference earlier this morning detailing the findings of an independent autopsy report. Now, from our previous coverage, just to give you a little background, if you haven't been following this story, the GBI in their investigation said Georgia troopers were conducting a clearing operation at the site, trying to get people illegally camped out on the property to leave when 26-year-old Manuel Turan, without warning, that is according to investigators, shot a trooper, prompting other troopers to return fire. That incident injured one Georgia State patrol trooper and ended up causing the death of Manuel Turan. Now, the family is alleging that that is not the full story. According to attorneys for the family, the autopsy says Manuel was shot over 13 times by different firearms, to include being shot, and this is graphic, I will warn, in the head through the right eye, in his left upper chest, in his legs, through the abdomen, and several times through the palms. Now, the autopsy also suggests that Manuel's hands were probably raised at the time of his death based on the exit wounds in his palms. Now, as you heard from, if you were following with us during that press conference, the family is demanding to get more information to make sense of what happened, to include seeing the full autopsy report of the GBI. Now, to get you to our second story, this is something we've been following since the start of this year. Hundreds and hundreds of potential jurors still being summoned this week for the trial that will make history, and really already has. Jury selection for the YSL trial, which includes rapper Young Thug, has become the longest in the state last week. Now, according to the judge, 300 more jurors are being summoned on March 17th, with 600 more after that. Can you imagine? Hundreds of potential jurors have already been dismissed for different reasons, and that trial is expected to last for months. That is something you guys know we'll be covering here on Atlanta News First, but we are following along every single day as jury selection continues. We are expecting that to continue for quite some time based on the hundreds and hundreds of jurors that are still yet to come. All right, and talking a little bit about a major name change. Let me know what you think about this. We're talking about Lake Lanier. The Georgia's most popular lake is on pause. Now, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been ordered to come up with a potential new name for Lake Lanier and Buford Dam. The lake is named after Sidney Lanier, a private in the Confederate Army. Now, Buford Dam is also named after another Confederate soldier. Can you guys drop in the comments some name ideas? If it wasn't Lake Lanier, what would you call it? I might have some ideas of my own, but we'll jot them down together, maybe pass them off as ideas. Now, Congress has the final authority to select the new name. No word on when that could happen. And before I bring in our meteorologist, Courtney Jacobazi, just to talk about this bitter cold weather I am trying to make through, or talk about the spring of deception, I want to address something that happened over the weekend. We were all lost an hour of sleep. I'm going to actually just bring her in right now. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So between the hour of sleep
Yep.
and then the bitter cold that we're now going
Right.
through,
Perfect timing.
what's going on?
No, girl, I wish that we didn't have to deal with. So in Georgia, because I know you're fairly new to Georgia. I say new.
I am a warm weather girl.
Right, correct. Thank you. And so we always have fake spring, and then we go back into winter, and then we get spring to stay. But it's almost harder when you lost an hour of sleep and then you probably don't want to get up anyway because it's so cold outside. I was just talking to Chief Meteorologist Jen Valdez. She was like, it was eerily quiet on the roads today, and so I think a lot of people are feeling it.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm definitely feeling it. I actually made up for it by sleeping in extra on Sunday. So
as you should have. If I didn't have to work Sunday morning, I would have been right there with you.
there we go. But let's talk about this weather. I know you have a lot to go over. This is just not a one-day thing. We're going to be
Right.
continuing to feel this. So I'm going to step out of your way. I got your graphics over here. Let's
Beautiful.
talk a little bit about that beautiful Midtown skyline.
Yeah, it's stunning out there this morning. Really, really nice start to the day. So while it is cold, at least it looks nice out there, right? So a little bit of a silver lining for you guys. After a really dreary day yesterday, this is probably refreshing to see some blue sky out there. A really nice morning, but again, very chilly. If you've stepped outside, which I'm sure a lot of you have at this hour of the day, you know that it is very, very cold. So for those of you tuning in, good morning. I am First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. It is wonderful to be with you on this Monday. Let's talk about what's going to happen because this cold really is here to stay. After we had record-breaking heat in February, in fact, February as a whole was record-breaking. It was one of the warmest Februarys we've had. Not the warmest, but one of the warmest in the top 10. And now we are heading into this colder pattern that does look to go through March. So when we look ahead, the Climate Prediction Center, they offer us resources that can give us some sort of look into the future all the way to the end of the month, and it looks like it's going to stay pretty chilly. So don't go putting those long sleeves and coats away just yet. You're definitely going to need them, especially this week. So here's a look at First Alert radar. All the rain and storms now moving into central Florida. They had some severe weather this morning. Of course, that's what we had to deal with yesterday. Thankfully, now that is out of our hair, and we don't have to worry about any of the severe weather or the rain anymore for at least a few days. But of course, that was thanks to a cold front. So now the colder air spilling in. Temperatures right now generally in the mid to upper 40s. We're at 48 in Atlanta. Notice, though, it is breezy. So when you have these cold fronts pass through, that changes the pressure in the atmosphere, and a pressure change creates wind. So it will be breezy today. We could experience wind gusts upwards of 25 miles per hour. Temperatures in the upper 40s, but it feels more like the low 40s. We're finally out of the 30s in Blairsville, 40 degrees in Blairsville, 45 in Canton, 43 in Dallas, and 48 in Noonan, 47 in Covington. But add the wind to that, it's going to feel a little colder. Definitely jacket weather out there this morning. We'll climb into the mid to upper 50s today. So overall, a really nice day. This is below average for this time of year. This is feeling more like a late January, early February afternoon today. And that breeze will stick with us through the afternoon as well. So again, just expect it to feel a couple degrees cooler, but at least the sunshine will hopefully help a little bit when it comes to that wind chill factor. It'll probably be a really, honestly, 50s and breezy and sunny is a pretty nice day in my book. As much as I loved the warmer weather, this is still a really nice day. So we do have a freeze warning. This is what we're looking forward to tonight. After our really nice afternoon in the mid to upper 50s with sunshine, our temperatures are going to drop very quickly. We'll have clear skies through the overnight. That cold air is going to really settle in. So temperatures will dip into the mid to upper 20s to low 30s throughout all of North Georgia. So because of that, we have a freeze warning. They issue this freeze warning because you might have noticed as you're kind of going out about downtown and through North Georgia, a lot of things have bloomed already. It's also the growing season for some crops. I know like strawberries are starting to come into season. So because of the threat to those plants, we have a freeze warning. If you have any kind of sensitive plants outside, any of your potted plants, probably want to cover them or bring them in tonight because overnight lows are going to drop. This is what you're going to step out to tomorrow morning, mid to upper 20s and low 30s. This is what Maria was talking about. No, thank you. We're not excited about it, but you know what? You can't stop Mother Nature. She's going to do her thing, and this is what we're dealing with tomorrow. 29 as you step out the door tomorrow in Carrollton, 27 in Rome, 32 in Gainesville and in Atlanta, 26 up in Clayton. It'll still be at least slightly breezy tomorrow morning. Not going to be as breezy as it is today, but you might have a slight wind chill factor tomorrow morning as well. Either way, you're just going to want the coat. Definitely need it as you head out to work. Send the kids to the bus stop. They need the coat, probably the hat as well. It's a good idea. Now, we do get colder, believe it or not, Wednesday. So after these cold fronts, the temperatures do drop, but it takes a while for that cold air to really settle in. And when the sky's clear, you don't have anything stopping temperatures from dropping. So we're going to get even colder Wednesday night as we just stay clear from start to finish. And then as we head into Thursday, mid-30s. Thursday afternoon, which I'll show you the afternoon highs, is going to be stunning. Friday, clouds start to build. So Thursday night, we'll start to see an increase in cloud cover. That's going to keep our overnight lows generally near 50. We're also going to have a change in wind direction. Our wind will more so come out of the south. That's just going to pull in a warmer air mass. And then we have a cold front move through on Friday. So notice temperatures go back near freezing Sunday. Again, this cold pattern looks to set up for the month of March. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. We were able to kind of look ahead. Again, that Climate Prediction Center, they give us an idea of what the next 2 to 8 weeks are going to look like, or 2 to 4 weeks are going to look like, so the whole month. And it was indicating that we were going to head into a colder pattern in March, and it is definitely here. So below freezing temperatures both Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday. In the metro will be near freezing, but in our suburbs expect mid to upper 20s. Very cold nights ahead. When it comes to the afternoons, tomorrow will be chilly. We'll be in the low 50s, but then notice temperatures go back near average as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so pretty mild afternoons the next few days. The caveat with Friday, the little exception for Friday, is that it's going to be a little bit rainy as we head into the late afternoon through the evening hours, but behind that cold front, look at the weekend. If you have any weekend plans, anything outdoors, you're going to need the jacket, especially if you're doing anything before noon, because temperatures on Sunday morning, again, are going to be near freezing. So it's going to take a little while to warm up. Definitely need the jacket this weekend. Don't go putting them away after our few mild days as we head towards the middle of the week. So let's talk about that rain. It is a first alert for Friday. We have, of course, the first alert tonight for the freezing temperatures. We have another first alert Friday as a cold front moves in. Now, thankfully with this, while it looks like it's got some teeth to it, it's not going to bring us the chance for severe weather. We just don't look to have the dynamics. Our air is going to be pretty dry ahead of this and pretty cold. So we're not really in that spring-like setup like we have been the past few times that has led to severe weather. So Friday, just expect widespread rain. We could have some isolated storms, a few rumbles of thunder, especially south of Atlanta, but we're not expecting severe weather. It's just going to be a rainy evening. Now, of course, what's Friday? That's St. Patrick's Day. I know there's a lot of events going on Friday night, any kind of those block parties outside. Friday's definitely going to be a little bit dicey as we head into the evening hours. So if you had any Friday night plans, you might want to reconsider. This will clear as we head into Saturday morning. So by Saturday morning, skies will be starting to clear. So any Saturday plans, you look great. It's just going to be breezy and chilly. Again, temperatures only in the low to mid 50s Saturday after a morning in the 40s. So it'll be cold Saturday morning and through the weekend. Just expect, again, this cold pattern just kind of stay settled, which means we're more than likely going to have several fronts kind of coming through. You know how it is this time of year. It's almost like these fronts are on a conveyor belt and they just keep coming. There's no stopping them until we can kind of stay stuck in our warmer pattern. So today, really nice, mid to upper 50s. It'll be a little breezy. A first alert for tomorrow because of the morning freeze. If you have any of those sensitive plants that are outside in your potted plants, you'll want to bring them in. Low 50s tomorrow, but lots of sunshine. We'll wake up even colder Wednesday. Highs in the low 60s, mid 60s Thursday. Thursday's going to be great. Expect an increase in cloud cover through the day ahead of our cold front Friday. Friday's rain will primarily be in the evening. We could have a few showers ahead of that for that evening drive on Friday. But if you have any evening plans Friday for your St. Patrick's Day, just keep in mind indoors is probably better. Going to need the raincoat or the umbrella. And then we cool down through the weekend. Could have a few lingering showers early Saturday. Not going to ruin any of your Saturday plans because by the time you get up and at it on Saturday, the rain should be out of the way. It'll be breezy and colder. We wake up freezing again on Sunday, and then highs only in the low 50s to round out your weekend. So again, keep those coats with you. You're definitely going to need them over the next several days, just after we had a wonderfully warm February. But as I told Maria, if you've lived in Georgia, I've lived in Georgia now for 6 years. This happens every year. There's all those memes that you see and it says you are here, and it usually says fake spring, and then it gets really, really cold again. It's always around like Easter or when the Braves start to play, because I know like opening day is usually kind of chilly, and that is right around the corner. April 6th is Braves opening day. I've got that down because I got my tickets already. So if you're going to be there, come say hello if you see me. But anyway, so enjoy the cold because, you know, when it gets hot, some of us are probably going to wish it was chilly again, right? Once it starts to get really warm, because those Georgia springs and summers can get pretty toasty as well. So enjoy this season that we are in of the colder air. As long as you're bundled up for it, you'll be good to go. All right, everyone, I hope you make it a wonderful Monday. Stay warm today, stay warm this week, and we'll catch you here next time.